So Trey Scott's a guy at Georgia who I don't know that he came out of the blue. He's at North Carolina for the period of time before he was at Georgia. But Kirby Smart talked about Trey Scott and what he's done over his time at Georgia. I did want to talk about that just for a little bit today. He was talking about NFL guys or guys at Georgia who are going to get drafted in the NFL, and he said, I think that will give validation to Trey Scott's development. That he took some guys that might not have been the highest rated coming out of high school, but they might be the highest rating coming out of college as opposed to high school. Now he's talking about like Jordan and guys like that. He says he's a tremendous teacher. I mean, Trey's a technician. He sells himself on not a lot of flash, but a lot of work, developing young men into good defensive linemen, but even better people. He's got a little bit of proof to validate that now with Trayvon Walker, Devontae Wyatt, and Jordan Davis all coming out of that room. Those are all three guys that are going to be really good NFL players. And I agree with that completely. When you start talking, two of these guys, all three, actually, now that I look at it, I had a chance to see in person while they played in high school. And they were really important in Georgia's national championship season. And that's something I want to talk about right now to make certain that you're getting DAWGSTRUCTION. I know a lot of people watching these videos are ordering it. It is worth your time and your money. Please check it out right down below. We'll get those to you in late February or early March. And then from that point forward, we're just going to keep rolling through. So be certain that you get in on this first one. I've had a lot of folks ask me, can they still get the book? Yes, you can still get the book. You can order it right down below. And when you think about the three guys that are going into the league from Georgia right now, that are Trey Scott guys, where it's Jordan, Trayvon Walker, and Devontae Wyatt, Jordan was the guy that was the least recruited. Devontae had to go the junior college route, or the prep school, however you want to call it. Treated it like a prep school. It was really a junior college. But, and then Trayvon was, a five-star guy, heavy hitter, the full deal. They all three. Now, I don't think they're all three going to go in the first round, but they all three could certainly be top 70 picks. I mean, I don't think that them all three going in the first and second round. I don't think that's at all out of the case for all three. Trayvon, I was talking with a buddy tonight who's a big Steelers guy, and he says that, hey, Jordan Davis is a guy that the Steelers are looking at. The Steelers should be looking at all these guys. First round, second round, whenever. Trayvon Walker, to me, is the best overall defensive lineman that's coming out right now. I think between him and Jalen Carter, those are the two best defensive players that Georgia had this past season. Nakobe Dean probably in the same conversation about that, so I don't want to get too far down the line with that. But, Jalen Carter shows just what, the defensive line has become at Georgia. The strength of Clemson's teams when they won the national championship, yeah, you can talk about the quarterbacks. It was their defensive line. When they didn't have that, they didn't win the national championship. And they had Trevor, okay? So it's really about the big guys. And Trey Scott's as important in that as anybody at Georgia. He's been there since 17. He's developed guys like, there's just so many. But, I think Devontae is a forgotten about guy in many ways. And having watched him in high school, you could see all the raw ability. It was there. The guy could run sideline to sideline, or let's just say hash mark to hash mark. No problem. Trayvon Walker, same deal. But guys like that, can they fight in the run game? Can they, do what you have to do on first and second down in order to get to third down so you can, rush the passer? The down linemen at Georgia under Trey Scott have elevated themselves to playmaker. They weren't bad in 17. They just weren't totally shut down like they are right now. And when I take a look at this board, you still got a lot to work with. You got Jalen Carter for sure, Nolan Smith, Zion Logue. Those guys are going to have to play well. Now, two of them already play well. Zion Logue's going to have to step up. But he is someone that they correctly identified, okay, Georgia, going into this thing. he was exactly he is exactly what you want in the middle of that defense. If he can develop and develop the same way Devontae did, the same way Jordan Davis did, he might not have the same impact as Jordan, but I'm telling you, Logue is a guy that really people should be paying attention to in the 2022 season and 23. And that's because of Trey Scott. I don't know why other programs didn't get on him. I don't know why Tennessee didn't really, pursue him in a big way at the time. Jordan Davis is the recruiting find. Him and DeAndre Baker have been the recruiting finds of Kirby Smart's time. Both 3-star guys. Both probably, DeAndre was, I believe, a first-round guy, and he might have been 34. I don't know. But he was right on top of it. And it looks like Jordan's going to be a first-round guy. That's not magic. That was work. And, the credit has to be given. And Kirby, the thing about it is, at the Tennessee game in 2021, you're at Neyland on the sideline, and, Tennessee's ready to play. And the Georgia defensive line was getting into it. Like, they allowed 2 touchdowns, I think it was, or 10 points, whatever it was. 2 scores. And Georgia's defensive line was like, okay, yeah, man, we get to get challenged today. Because they really had not been challenged by an offense yet. Kentucky, yeah. But this was a different type of challenge. So Kirby's over there talking to the defensive line. And Trey, is just letting them do it. But he's the head coach. But it was these guys weren't shocked that someone ran up and down the field for a couple of drives. And then after that, it was shut down city. Something they adjusted, or maybe what Tennessee's script was, ran out of gas. But boy, Georgia made them pay. Georgia made them pay the rest of the way in that game. And it's everything. It's nutrition, it's strength, it's conditioning, it's getting it done in the classroom, it's recruiting guys, developing them. It's not going crazy at practices at times, and then it is going crazy at practices. It's directing a symphony, getting prepared for your performances. It's hard. It's not easy to do. And I think that Kirby has been able to identify young talent that's out there. Not even young sometimes, just talent. And, Matt Luke, Todd Hartley, Trey Scott. And we're just going to see how it goes with some of the new guys that have jumped on board too. But this is a competent staff. This is a more competent staff than when they started at Georgia. And that wasn't a bad staff. You got a head coach. You had 2 major head coaches at major institutions at Arkansas and Michigan State. And this staff, on the whole, is better. And I think that's really saying something. And Trey Scott is an extremely important part of what Georgia's done over the last, since 17. But they're better now because of the job that Trey Scott's done. There was a lot of concern from, message board folks. And people say, well, it's message board folks. There's a lot of really smart people on message boards. There's a lot of influential people on message boards. There was concern. And it wasn't just, people just talking. But maybe it was just that they hadn't given Trey Scott enough time. And I think that was a lot of what it was. But you can't, there's no doubt to me that he's done a hell of a job in his time at Georgia. Hey, look, I call it like I see it. I'm not any of these guys' friends. And when it's not good, it's not good. But lately, the defensive line development, recruiting, all of it it's really gone well. And Kirby's acknowledging that with Trey Scott. And I wanted to in this video too. Make sure you're picking up DAWGSTRUCTION. It's right down below. We'll see you over on the website.